return. Thank you for coming today to our Black History event. Super excited. And also I'd love to introduce Mr. Michael Hughes, our Gamble historian on Black history and everything through Gamble. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on Mr. Hughes. Oh, and actually, if you want to get started on pizza, I can bring you your slices, okay? So, or if you want to come up and get it, whatever you like. Free pizza and drinks. Water.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Hughes. Know a lot of you. I've been doing history, African American history for now over 10 years. We started back about 2010, really sharing the history. The reason I got started is because the history of the Black American history was not being taught in any class. You couldn't read it in any book. You understand? But it was important. So I started with about 10, 12 pictures that I had gotten from my great aunt's house that I found when I was moving her out after her passing. I had to clean her house out, and I found about 10 pictures of old pictures, and I started putting them online, and some people responded, but I didn't have enough pictures to really get started to tell the story. So what I did, I started talking about 2nd Street. Now 2nd Street, as you see it right here, was the Black Business District. This is where Black people had to eat, where doctors, dentists, because they could not go to white establishments and sit down. Now, although there was a restaurant right on the corner called the White House, right on the corner, right there on the corner of 2nd Street, but you could not go in there. If you went in there, you would be turned away, or the police would be called, and you'd be turned away. So Black people had 2nd Street. If you see, and I didn't have no way of talking about 2nd Street. So what happened was that I would tell Miss Barbara Hewitt, which was a lady that was invested in sharing the history of Danville, Black history, 2nd Street. She got in touch with me and asked me to come down to St. James Church. She said, Michael, come down here. I want you to take some kids. Y'all see this? I'm gonna put this back up here. Can't hold that. She said, there are some elementary students coming from Richmond that came, so I want you to take them up on 2nd Street, which is Constitution Square Park. Now, I said, I want you to tell them what used to be there. I took those kids up on 2nd Street, and I tried to tell them there used to be a restaurant here, there used to be a food room here, there used to be a barber shop here, doctor's offices, all that kind of stuff. Those kids looked at me like, okay, that's good. But without any physical evidence, I could not get them to really believe in anything that I was saying, or I was sure that the knowledge that I was telling them didn't rest that much. So in my talking to different people, someone told me, said there is a guy that has taken pictures. He might have a picture of 2nd Street. And when I finally got in touch with him, he gave me this picture. Well, this picture's been blown up now, but he gave me this picture, and that started everything. I put this picture online. People started to come talking about, oh, that's what 2nd Street used to look. Now I have something that I can show and talk about. So after I got through posting this picture here, other pictures started to come. Facebook became crowded. I saw online one day, me and my brother lived in one of these buildings here. My brother, me and him would talk every night. about them, about them. And I told one night I was talking, I saw all this information online about black people that used to live in Danville in 1931, 1945. And I said, where is this coming from? And he said, and he lived in Louisville. We're talking on the phone. He lived in Louisville, and he said, I don't know. And so a few days later, a lady named Mary Garai, who I worked with for many years, who was just so great in helping us get started, she said, I think I know who this guy is. That he's going to be at the library in a few days giving a talk. Said, you come up there and I will introduce you guys. So I went up there to the library. I went upstairs. I went downstairs. I went back upstairs looking for this guy. And I didn't see him. And somebody told me, said, he's in the back room back here. Well, I go to the back room, I still wasn't knowing that this guy was a white guy. He was a white guy that had did all that. And Michael Bennett has become one of the greatest assets to our. He has chronologized over 60,000 files of black folks' history in Danville. He's a big part. He's also part, him and they also formed a group inside of the Historical Society known as the Danville Central Kentucky Cemetery Committee. They have saved 3 cemeteries. They have saved cemeteries in Shelby City, which you could not see. You could not, it was so grown up that you could not tell anything about it. They have saved that one. They have saved one in Wilsonville. They have saved one on Meadow Lane. So that's some of the work that has been done by our organization. We knew this was important. We knew that, like I was talking to this gentleman here, and he agreed with me that the history has not been, in no books you can find anything about Danville. A couple years ago, we have books that we published, African Americans in Boyle County. Now, this picture here, I'm going to show you this picture. When I first, I'm going to put it over here a minute, just, and I'll set it back over here. When I first saw this picture online, I didn't know what that was either. But this picture was guys sitting on 2nd Street in 1939 by the pool room across the street from the Ethel McDowell house. So the Ethel McDowell house was renovated in 1939, for many years. Some time ago, you saw the picture of the Ethel McDowell house, how it looked before the renovation. There was a whole lot of things went on. It was, at one time, Dr. Ethel McDowell was known for the great operation, Barbarian Cancer operation that he did. But when the house was shut down for almost 100 years, and it became something different in the years before the government took it back over. It was a pool room inside that house. It was, actually it was a house, I used the term yesterday, I was trying to think of the term to use, so I'll use it today. It was also a house of ill repute. I know y'all know what that is, but finally it became, but these guys are sitting on, if you look at the expression on these guys' face, and what they was looking at, and what they were seeing, they was witnessing the first time, because there's other pictures, I don't have them with me today, but there was about 200-300 white people dressed up on 2nd Street. They'd never seen that many people, especially white folk, on 2nd Street. So this was the first time for them to see this. This was actually 30 years before, I'm gonna put this back over here. This was 30 years before urban renewal came to them. Anybody familiar with urban renewal? Urban renewal came to them like it went in other places with their promise to upgrade African American life in Denver, but that's not what they did. Those buildings that you see right there, they tore them all down with the promise of that they was gonna rebuild these buildings and sell them back to the black folks. That didn't happen. They sold those buildings to the county, to the state, and the state sold them back to the county. And that's why you see the park that you see now. Like I told yesterday, it's a beautiful park, but the park took away any entrepreneurial opportunity that black folks had. You know, but black folks own stuff. Now today, you ride around Denver, and you find very few, if any, African American businesses that are thriving, because that's what happened. They took away the neighborhoods. Neighborhoods, they bought all the built things in neighborhoods, and they just, urban renewal destroyed the culture. But urban renewal knew what they was doing. They was way ahead of the game when they came to them, because they had did it before. They knew that black folks could not afford. They knew that black folks could not afford to maintain the businesses, and they knew that the folks on Second Street, most of the proprietors, they got over. Now, something I didn't mention yesterday, there's another thing that went on, what I call brokerage. It might not be the proper word for it, but brokers, to me, if you own the property, and I come to you, I'm representing urban renewal, and I come to them, I say, man, I want to buy your house. And I say, I look at your house, I've had people come in and look at your house, and I tell you what I'll do. We'll give you $20,000 for your house. You say, no, I don't want to move. I've been here all my life. I don't want to move. $20,000. You got to imagine now. This is not this is 1970, 1968. $20,000 was quite good. But a lot of the houses were dissipated. I have pictures of a lot of the houses that wasn't. But I'm telling you, I'm saying, I'm gonna give you $20,000 for your house. You tell me, no sir, I don't want to sell my house, especially with $20,000. I leave. I go talk to somebody that's well known, and I'm skating around some things. I'm talking to somebody that's well known in the community, black community. Let's put it that way. And I'm talking and I'm saying, you know, I'm saying, look, I really want this house. This lady has. So what we'll do, if you can talk her and get her to believe that she needs to sell her house, and you, 25, I'm gonna say 25, I'm offer her $25,000. Okay. But if she sells that, if she goes with that $25,000,